If you like this episode and you're curious about getting support with your mindset in your business so that you can transform the hard, heavy energy into freedom, fun, and flow, so that you can create wild success in your business and your life and literally be the happiest you've ever been and the most relaxed you've ever been, then I'm looking for 5 ambitious female entrepreneurs who want that for themselves. And they're going to do that by upgrading their mindset and reprogramming limiting beliefs. If that is you, get in touch with me. DM me the word UpLevel on Instagram or email me via the link in the show notes. Welcome to season 2 of the Bigger Than You podcast, your go-to weekly podcast that blends energetics and mindset to help you do whatever it takes to bring your vision to life whilst having fun on the way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. My purpose is to help mission-led business owners and visionaries who want to inspire change by leading the way in a space that otherwise may feel unnerving and too difficult. This is Bigger Than You. The new year comes with so much pressure and narratives that go on inside the mind in terms of thoughts and whatever stories we choose to tell ourselves about previous failures of setting resolutions and not doing things the way we wanted to. And the truth is, this new year is man-made, right? Like time in the way it's a construct, it's a man-made construct. And so you actually get the choice. You can choose to start afresh. You can choose a new start every single day. Like that's your opportunity. That's your choice. That's the power that you have if you choose to do so. But I am going to stick to, the social construct of the new year and give you an episode that lines up nicely with that. And so this episode is going to be about how to create your next level version of yourself more easily, because most of what we do is done unconsciously, right? Obviously, the stuff going on inside our bodies biochemically and digestively and like breathing and all of that, obviously that's subconscious. But what a lot of people don't know is that the way that we see the world, our version of reality, how we feel when we see and hear things, our perception, our opinions, the way we act based on how we feel is all down to what goes on in the subconscious mind. I like to call it the ecosystem that is going on subconsciously, and it's all down to the subconscious programming that we have. And this is down to the experiences that we have had growing up and what we have made those experiences mean. And so when we know that most of what we do is subconscious, and our version of reality is just that, it's our version of reality. Because whenever our brain is, okay, so let me take this back a little bit. Our subconscious mind notices everything, right? And our subconscious mind chooses what we see consciously. This is an absolute mind blower when you know that this is how it works. It opens your eyes to how you're experiencing life. Okay, so your subconscious mind is taking in everything that's going on around you. And based on the programming that you have on a subconscious level, your brain, your subconscious mind will generalize, distort, and even delete things before you get to experience it consciously. So, what you experience in the world, your version of reality, is down to your subconscious programming. Before I get fully into this episode, quick little example of a story where one of my clients at one point was blocking herself from sales. And this can happen so easily for thousands, tens of thousands of reasons you can block yourself from success in your business. And my client, she was blocking herself and couldn't understand why she wasn't getting sales in her business. The interest in her program had gone down and she was showing up on stories. She felt like she was selling with just as much enthusiasm and passion and everything as before. Like she just couldn't put her finger on what was going wrong. And we did our session and it was clear that she was blocking herself, but it was just incredible. Like literally 10 minutes after we did the work, we unblocked her because she then messaged me saying she found 2 messages in her inbox from 2 separate people asking to have a discovery call with her. and she hadn't found them. Her subconscious mind had blocked her from seeing that because, in her version of reality at that moment, she wasn't ready for more business. She didn't have space, energetic space to hold those clients, to welcome those clients in because of the inner work that she was doing on herself on a personal level. She was literally blocking herself, and her subconscious was choosing for her to consciously not see those DMs, and they were there the whole time. The subconscious mind is incredible. But how to get good at evolving yourself on a personal level so that you can get the best out of yourself and therefore the best out of your business is to start to get curious. Get curious and watch yourself. Watch yourself objectively. Everything that you do, the way that you think, the way that you react to things, it's all down to subconscious programming and the beliefs that you hold on a subconscious level. And they're subconscious. Okay, so how you can get good at evolving yourself and doing this inner work, and this is what I do myself, is to get curious about what you're doing and ask yourself why that is. And when you can raise your level of self awareness here, you make the unconscious conscious. When you become aware of something, when you become conscious of something, that's when you can start to move through it. That's when you can empower yourself to be like, right, I see I have a limiting belief here. Now I can do something about it. But if you're not aware of the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling or thinking things, like seeing reality in a certain way, because perspective is everything, right? You have the choice of the stories that you tell yourself. You always have a choice to choose something else. But if you're unconsciously doing it, then there's no way forward. It's like you're in the dark. You can't see the way forwards. You can't see the way out. You can't see why you're blocking yourself. You can't see why you're not creating the success you want in your business because of some unconscious pattern. So how to bring that unconscious to the conscious and therefore become self-aware and therefore move through it is to get good at watching and observing yourself in a very non-judgmental way. Just get curious and do not judge yourself and add negative energy to what you see. Just be neutral about it. Get curious and say, okay, that's interesting. And then question it, challenge it, see if you can see things a different way. And then you can start to move through these things. But I'm going to give you 10 things to let go of in 2023 so that you can move towards your goals with more ease. Number one, stop making yourself feel guilty or feel bad when you are not working. We have this tendency, a lot of us have this tendency to think that we can only create success when we are doing, doing. And the whole concept of creating with our energy is just not taught growing up. Like I came to this myself as an adult. This is just not taught. And so, actually, how the mind works is that your subconscious mind is your zone of genius. And so, when you're not working, when you are choosing to go out and have fun instead, or choosing to shut down your computer, put on some music that makes you feel good, nourish your body, eat well, drink plenty of water, do the things that you actually would do if you weren't a slave to your business. When you do those things, your subconscious mind is still working in the background. Your subconscious mind is your zone of genius. That's the part that's going to give you the creativity that's going to propel you forwards. And it also works in the sense that when you start to put yourself first, you enjoy yourself more. You get in the flow state far more easily. But if you are forcing yourself to shut the laptop because it's far too late, you've worked for too long and you're exhausted and you're not thinking straight, so then you stop working, but then you find yourself thinking about work, that in itself is a sign that you don't feel safe in your business. And that's something to work through. But if you are adding negative, heavy energy by making yourself feel bad for the way you feel or for not working, then that is just going to bring your vibe down even further. And your vibe is the secret to creating what you want to create, because we get more of what we are, not what we want. Okay, so if your vibe is heavy energy, hustle, overworking, guilt, shame, negative self-talk, that's heavy energy that you're giving off. You are going to get back a reflection of that in your life experiences. Get it in your head. You get more of what you are, not what you want. So be curious, get curious about what you are at the moment. What's the energy underneath your actions? And focus on that. Like if you spent more time focusing on your energy, what's the energy underneath your thoughts and your actions? If you make a commitment to evolving and nurturing yourself so that your energy expands, is more positive, is a higher vibe, you will see results in your business. As long as you do the inner work to shift the limiting beliefs and get out of your way too. Okay. But number one, stop making yourself feel bad or guilty for not working. It's heavy, it's negative energy. You don't need that in your life. Number two, let go of the need to have control. This is what I talked about earlier about that do energy, like the belief that you're only going to create results if you're sat at your desk working, do. Because actually, the more that you can release that control and surrender, and the more that you can go with the flow, the more that you'll be able to drop into receiving mode rather than be in the push energy where you get the results because of the hard work. Actually, it gets to be so much easier than that when you tap into the laws of the universe and creating from a place of expansive, high vibe energy. And there's so much to this, right? It's not as simple as the things that I'm saying here. It's far more complex than this. But actually, if we simplify it really down to the bare bones, when you're able to feel supported, when you allow yourself to feel supported, then you'll be supported so much more and you'll allow yourself to receive so much more. Okay. So you can become a magnet for abundance and give that positive high energy off and get that back. Okay. But if you're needing to have control, if you are needing to have control, you are creating the success in your business from a place of push energy rather than dropping back, surrendering, and really just getting into receiving mode and allow the success to come to you. Okay. Number three, let go of the need to help everyone. And I see it so clearly in my work, the line of work that I do, because I have this ability to spot patterns, to see people's limiting beliefs, and to see very clearly how they're holding themselves back. In every conversation I have with a business owner, I cannot help but spot it. And it's getting stronger and stronger the more experience that I get. However, it's fine for me because I am detached from the need to help everybody. Okay. So this is really, really important because I've worked with business owners who, when they have a discovery call and the person on the other end says no for whatever reason, they don't feel bad because they haven't signed the client. They make themselves feel awful because they know that they can help that person, but that person has said no. That person hasn't allowed them to be helped. And so the clients that I've worked with, they go away feeling absolutely terrible because they feel like they failed because they're not able to help this person in this moment. But actually, if you can let go of that need to help everybody, because in a way, the reframe of it is, well, people can only be helped when they are ready to be helped. And so as a business owner, you can just rely on the fact that people will work with you when they are ready to and not before. And ultimately, if you end up signing a client that is not ready to work with you, then it's misaligned. Okay. And your results will not be as good, or they will create hassle for you because maybe they'll turn up in victim mode. Whereas if they had waited a year and come back to you, they will be empowered and do the work be so much more responsive to you. So it's really, really key to drop that need to help everybody. Then this helps me massively because in the communities that I'm in of business owners, I see it so clearly. And it would destroy me if I gave my energy away every time I saw somebody not doing the inner work or not being ready for the inner work when it's so clearly the missing piece of the puzzle. It would be a huge energy leak for me in my business. And so the reframe, guys, if you're listening to this and you know that this is a thing for you, the reframe is people will get the help that they need when the time is right, when they are ready and not before. And if that is not in this lifetime, that's just the way it goes. You have to protect your own energy for yourself and for your own happiness, but also for the success of your business too. I'm sure the energy leaks will come up further down the line in this list as well. Number four, the fear of not being liked. Get rid of this, because when you can free yourself of this fear, then it's so liberating. You are not for everybody. And that's cool. Like, that's totally cool. You want to be able to be you in your complete fullness. And this goes for personal life and in business too. When you allow yourself to be who you truly are without dimming your light in any way, then you'll be in alignment. And then you will allow joy to come into your life so much more easily. And your experience of life will improve. This is not just about business, guys. Your happiness and your experience of life is so much more important than your business. And so if you can prioritize yourself and your joy and your experience of life first, then your priority is to be you. Like, that's why you're here. That's why you're here on this earth, in your human body, to have this human experience, to live your life to the fullest. And part of that is to allow yourself to be who you truly are. And so when we put this through the lens of how to get the best out of your business, it has to be you showing up in your fullest expression, giving yourself the permission to be fully who you truly are. And in order to do that, you have to release the fear of not being liked. You're not for everybody. And actually, I'm happy in the knowledge that I trigger people because I'm confident or because I'm so joyful. Then that's because whenever you're triggered, it's a sign of some healing that needs to be done. And so, because I know that inside and out, I know that if somebody judges me for something about who I am, there's nothing to do with me. It's down to them and the work that they need to do at some point. Whether they ever come to realize that or not, I don't care. I'm happy being me. And also, by being me in my fullest expression, whether that's on this podcast or on Instagram or in my client sessions, because I know now that by being myself, I only attract people who are fully aligned to who I am and how I do things. So it feels so good to just be myself all the time. And I know that that will attract those people who are right for me, who are a vibrational match for me, and it will repel people who aren't. And that is totally fine. And you may find that when you start to live life on your terms, for yourself and being your fullest self, you may start to find that people fall away, because we're evolving, right? And we're always vibrating at a certain frequency. And when you start to live life for you and in your fullest expression, your vibration will naturally go up. And so you will stop being an energetic match for those people at a lower vibrational frequency. And so that means that friendships may be more distant, or you might just feel like people aren't right for you anymore. And that's totally fine. Just be true to yourself and know that it's all good. Number 5, making personal packages for you. Yes, this is such an important one in your business, your programs, your prices. That's it. You've decided what you want to do. You've decided how you're working. You've decided your packages. You've decided your prices before you get on a discovery call. And so do not find yourself, like, if you've done this before, you will know that it doesn't feel good afterwards. You will feel like icky or horrible, or you might really kick yourself for having done it. It doesn't feel good to bend your prices or bend your services, create bespoke services on a call to please the person on the other side. No, you are a business owner. Own it. You are the expert. You create your programs, and your prices, and that's that. And detach from the outcome. Those people who are ready for that, great, excellent, wonderful, take them on. But those who are not ready, don't go and create something special or bespoke for them. They're either not right for you at this time, and maybe they'll come back in 6 months' time when they have saved up the money. By doing this a different way and bending the rules and creating a cheaper, shorter program or something, you're actually doing it a service to your potential clients, because It's your expertise. You need to trust yourself that your program is the right time and the right length and the right value and everything. Trust yourself and be the authority on those calls. Number 6, time to let go of doing anything that you don't want to do in your personal life, in your business. It's just an energy leak. Anything that doesn't light you up is an energy leak. So, for example, in your personal life, if you can afford to have a cleaner, but you're stopping yourself from getting that support, then why? Get that support. Doing your own cleaning, if you absolutely hate cleaning, is an energy leak. Or doing your own podcast edits, if you cannot stand editing, is an energy leak. Get yourself an editor. There may well be some money mindset work for you to do here and some subconscious reprogramming to allow yourself to do that, to get out of your own way, to allow yourself to be supported more so that you don't have to do things that you don't want to do. But essentially, doing things that you don't want to do is an energy leak, and energy leaks affect your business. If you are interested in understanding more about all the things that I'm talking about, check the link in the show notes and go and watch my free masterclass. It breaks down the ultimate freedom framework, which is how I work with my clients, how I get them to create incredible results. It's not just about subconscious reprogramming, it's about so much more. And it goes into depth in terms of energy leaks and other things I've talked about here. Number 7, clutter. Okay, clutter. Clutter in terms of stuff on your to-do list. Like, what are you doing? If you're not focusing on needle moving tasks, that's a sign of the inner work. Okay, again. But let's just keep this basic for now. Clutter in your house. Everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. Things in your house, it's all energy, it's all taking up space. And if we talk on a deeper level, things that are going on in your life, if they are misaligned, then it's energy, it's taking up space. And this is the power of the work that I do. If you imagine a home, if you imagine your business as a home, and if you have stuff that's misaligned in there, it's taking up energy, it's taking up space. So if you're working with, or if you've got a program, let's say you've got a low ticket membership that is just, it doesn't feel right because you don't feel lit up by it anymore. Imagine that as a guest in your house. And outside of your house, there is the most incredible person waiting to work with you, but they're not going to press the doorbell because there's no space for them in the house. So it's like you have these incredible opportunities waiting for you, and they are not going to manifest until you create space. Number 7, clutter is energy. Yeah, I said this. I've experienced this week with a client. She's had some misaligned ones from when we started working together, and we've discussed what a dream client would look like. And we've been doing the inner work, the deep trauma stuff, finding the patterns, finding the reasons why things are manifesting in her life. We've worked on them. And literally just yesterday, she sent me a voice note and she was like, somebody, complete dream client, has found her, knows that they want to work with her. It's like she literally cannot believe her luck. It's not luck. It's all down to the work that we've done. And she has manifested this. But they voice noted her. They said that they wanted to work with her. They don't need a discovery call. They don't care what her hourly rate is. Please just invoice them for X amount of monthly hours. I cannot wait to get started with you. And she just has never experienced anything like this before. She voice noted me, having just heard that. And the excitement in her voice is just a really, really cool moment. I experience this all the time with clients. It's like we do the inner work, we set the intention, they decide what they want, and then we do the inner work. And it's then about this gap between who you are becoming and starting to be that, and then holding the energy, and then the universe will catch up and these incredible experiences will drop in. All right. But it's back to that house analogy. You need to get rid of the clutter, the misaligned things that are taking up space, because when you get rid of them, and we can talk about literally this can be interpreted through like clutter in your house or clutter in terms of misaligned things in your life and in your business. Get rid of anything that's not aligned for you, okay? Because everything's energy and it's taking up space. And when you create that space, those new opportunities can enter. Imagine them. They are literally waiting outside the house. The house is your life. They are literally standing outside waiting. They cannot wait to manifest for you, but they're not going to press the doorbell unless there's space. That's it. And if you want more information on that, go and watch the masterclass. Link is in the show notes. Number 8, comparison. Let go of this. 2023 is so done with comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you want to go places in your business, you need to trust in yourself and your own unique voice. That will only come through when you put yourself first and experience more joy. Allow yourself to create more joy for yourself. Allow that creativity to come through. And then also stop scrolling when you are in that energy and you are noticing you are comparing yourself. 2 things that I would do actually. I would notice. Again, this is like I said right at the start of the podcast, it's down to getting more self aware. Okay. So notice what energy you are in when you are scrolling. If it's a positive energy and you're feeling good and you just want a little bit of downtime, like 2 minutes of scrolling and then I'll get up and make lunch or whatever, great, that's fine. But if the energy underneath your scrolling is, I'm not good enough, I need to find ideas of things to create content on, then that's the wrong energy to be working in. Stop comparing yourself. And how to do this is to literally take away the opportunity to compare yourself. Mute or unfollow anything that's to do with your business, any competitors, just mute or unfollow them, because until you can get used to finding your unique voice and creating content that is you and your voice, you're not going to be able to find yourself whilst you're comparing yourself to everybody else. And it's so, so important, because if you're creating a brand, like you want to create a brand, maybe you don't know this, but in order to make your business super successful, you need to get known for you and what you're about. And if all you're doing is following trends and making posts inspired by other things that you've seen, then you're not going to be seen as an authority figure. You're not going to be seen as unique. And you do have what it takes to be unique and to find your own voice. But you cannot hear your unique inner voice when you are drowning yourself in comparison. So there you go. No more needs to be said on that one. Number 9, time to let go of fixing timelines. Again, it comes back down to this human brain programming of expected timelines and how long we think it's going to take to achieve things. And again, some of this comes down to comparison. You look at other people's success. Number 1, you have no idea what the backstory is there, But also number 2 is that divine timing is a thing. It's a thing. And there's no getting away from it. And actually, you can, if you feel impatient in achieving your goals, then just reframe that. Like, how you perceive something is down to you, and how you think about something affects how you feel. So if you're feeling impatient about, when is it going to happen for me? When is it going to happen for me? Well, actually, what if you reframe that is, well, it's already done. I know. Like, you can find that place. If you can find that in yourself to anchor into an inner knowing, you're absolutely going to achieve your goals. And there's no question about it. Then that will allow you to feel supported and to trust in divine timing, so that you can chill the fuck out and have more joy in your life, and stop being a slave to your to-do list, and stop feeling like you need to obsessively work. Because when you can just allow yourself to be supported, when you can surrender to being supported by the universe and allow yourself to respect yourself as a vibrational being, and knowing that everything is a vibration. Okay, you literally can achieve whatever you want to. It's just about being in alignment with the goals. And divine timing is a thing. You might need to experience some growth. And actually, sometimes if you've got a lot of inner work to do on yourself, then that will come first, over and above the things that you want to achieve, the success that is possible for you in your business. It might be on the other side of the inner work. And sometimes that it's about slowing down to speed up. Okay. And I've experienced this too multiple times in my business, because I do feel blessed in the sense that I am connected very much to my intuition, and I just feel the energy of And also trust. I'll allow myself to trust in it, and I don't let the fear get in the way. I think it's just, being able to just walk my talk so much that it is literally my experience of when you feel this experience of nothing is happening, I can ground back into that knowing, that inner knowing that it's all going to be fine. And actually, if it feels like nothing is happening, what if the story you chose to tell yourself is that you're in the catapult? And if you imagine the catapult goes back before it propels forwards, and that is where you're at right now. If nothing is happening, or if you know that there is a lot of deep inner work to do to move through so that you can create success in your business, then so be it. Trust in divine timing. Okay. You are going to hold yourself back with limiting beliefs, though. So if you are aware that you have a bunch of limiting beliefs and you're avoiding it, if you're avoiding it, then it's the elephant in the room that is not going to walk out the door by itself. Like, imagine that elephant taking the space up in that house that is your business or your life. That elephant represents all of your limiting beliefs that's in the subconscious mind that, like I talked about at the top of the episode. Do you remember when I said your subconscious mind literally chooses what to send to your conscious brain? It will delete, distort, generalize information to give you a version of reality that fits with your inner world, right? That fits how you feel on the inside. So if you believe that success is ridiculously hard, or it's going to affect your relationships or whatever, then that will be your reality. And so, yeah, your subconscious mind looks for a reflection of what you believe is true. And this is why we manifest patterns over and over again in our life until we decide to stop. Just stop and do the work. Interrupt the pattern and evolve through it rather than, being stuck in this never-ending cycle of shit, basically. Whatever the pattern is, it's the subconscious mind that creates your reality. So if you're holding yourself back and you've got this metaphorical elephant in your house, the house being your business, and the success, like the incredible opportunities are waiting outside. They're wanting to press the doorbell, but they're not going to press the doorbell until space is created to sort those limiting beliefs out and get rid of that massive elephant. Then you're just going to hold yourself back, and it's going to take longer and it's going to be harder. So I hope there has been some aha moments for you in this podcast episode. If I was listening a year ago, I know that I would have, I'm committed to doing my inner work. So it is what it is. To get the best out of anything, any piece of learning, this goes for everything in life. If you're a passive learner, then change isn't going to happen. When you are experiencing something that is changing the way you view things, like a podcast full of information to help you in your business, be an active learner in that. This is what I suggest you do. Take notes, highlight the things that are most relevant to you, and then decide what you're going to do going forwards. And in order to make this more impactful in your subconscious mind, basically send the message to your subconscious mind that this is important to you. Speak about it. Okay, so you've got your notes, you've highlighted what's most important, you've then decided on some actionable steps. Tell somebody, come and DM me what you've decided. What are your main takeaways from this episode? Or message your accountability buddy, or put it up on stories on Instagram. Do something to signify to your subconscious mind that this is important, this is a priority, and actually I'm going to let go of whatever 3 things. Don't overwhelm and overcomplicate it by saying, I'm going to let go of all 10 things that Jen talked about in that podcast. Like, it's not going to happen. Be realistic. Maybe choose 2 or 3 and set yourself a plan. When you're specific, when you write things down, when you speak about your intentions, you're sending that signal to your subconscious mind that it's important. And your subconscious mind, like I said earlier, is your zone of genius. And so it will help you. It will support you in that. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this episode valuable. You may well want to listen to it more than once to really let things land differently each time. Let me know what your thoughts are. Come and DM me on Instagram or share this episode to your stories. Let people know what your main takeaway was. And thank you so much for doing that, by the way. I love what I do here, and I feel like my message is super important. So the faster this podcast can grow, the better. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.